Jueguito loquito nos va volviendo adictos al sabor de los besitos, cuerpos junticos. Jueguito loquito, lleno de travesuras. Jueguito loquito, libre y sin ataduras. Si tú quieres, yo me dejo convencer por tus encantos. Si tú quieres, nos perdemos hoy de nuevo en mi cuarto. Si tú quieres y yo quiero, si me besas, yo te beso. Es un juego, una locura entre tú y yo. Qué rico, juego loquito, arrebatado por tenerte. Estoy tentado, besar tu cuerpo por todos lados, dejar que tu imaginación vuele. Jueguito loquito nos va volviendo adictos de los besitos y nuestros cuerpos junticos. Jueguito loquito, lleno de travesuras. Jueguito loquito, libre y sin ataduras. Y es que no sé, pero siempre me derrito al tocar su piel. A ti te gusta que te busque una y otra vez. Analicemos el momento, tengo el lugar, el pretexto perfecto. Lo que pasa entre tú y yo será un secreto. Si tu novio se da cuenta, ya tenemos listo el cuento. Aprovechemos el momento, dime que tú quieres, yo lo cumplo por completo. Na 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 na. Jueguito loquito nos va volviendo adictos al sabor de los besitos, cuerpos junticos. Jueguito loquito, lleno de travesuras. Jueguito loquito, libre y sin ataduras más. Libre y sin ataduras más. Jueguito loquito.
This is Belaez, Jueguito. Thank you so much for the song. And today I'm with Vania. We're going to talk about Dominican Republic. We're going to talk about Haiti. Thank you very much for coming.
No, thank you so much for having me.
So it's a big discrimination story with the Haitian in Dominican Republic. The story is to change the constitution. Tell me more.
So basically, in 2013, one of the highest constitutional courts in Dominican Republic decided that they were going to retroactively deny citizenship to a population of people that came into the 20s. In the 1920s. And it was really shocking on an international scale, because if you really look back and study what they've been doing in their courts for the past 10 years, you see there's been a systematic way that they've been trying to take away the naturalized citizenship from these people. So for example, way back when, you were granted birthright citizenship as long as you were born on Dominican soil.
Exactly.
In 2004, they made an amendment where they said that basically you cannot have that right if you were born to someone who is in transit. The discrepancy comes here when, before you were only said that you were in transit if you were in the country for less than 10 days. Now they're saying that this applied to everyone who was coming from Haiti, regardless of how long that they were in the country.
So everybody's in transit.
Exactly.
It's like it's a big airport and everybody's looking
exactly,
for
and they're going where? Nowhere. The plan was to go to DR at that time, so it really doesn't apply in this situation.
And so what is the situation now? What is what's the proposal of the legislation?
Well, the deadline was on June 17th for Dominicans of Haitian descent to submit paperwork to prove essentially that they were actually Dominican citizens. Between June and the end of last month, there have been a lot of voluntary migrations, mainly because there have been incidents of either people within the community
Yeah.
or even instances where it's the Dominican police that are coming into people's homes late at night, basically just targeting anyone that they
Wow.
think may be of Haitian descent, which is really just a nice, a coded way of saying we're looking
Yeah.
for dark-skinned black
Yeah,
people, and
exactly.
we don't think you're Dominican, so we're gonna grab you, put you in a bus, and then just drop you off in the border. And you know, people don't want to have that force or that
Yeah.
altercation where there could be violence, so
Yeah.
people have been voluntarily leaving because
Yeah.
they're scared of how high the tensions can
Yeah.
get. This past month now is really when the deadline has really ended, and the Dominican Republic is starting now to do the deportations. Before it was all voluntary. Now they have started deporting a few hundred people. And again, you know, it's a heartbreaking situation because there are situations where families are being broken apart, and then also there's a whole cultural and language barrier that applies between Haitians and Dominicans, and you take these group of people and
Yeah.
you put them on Haitian soil, and they're
they have no idea
completely
what they- yeah, yeah.
exactly. I mean, can't even speak
Yeah.
the language in some
Yeah.
cases.
Now, we saw a lot of the issue from people who have been deported in Central America. When they were youth, they went back, they have no idea of the languages, they have no idea of the culture or anything.
Exactly. You know, CARICOM, they have really put some pressure on Dominican Republic, asking them to at least have some type of monitoring system to see how this can happen. You know, the OAS has also asked the Haitian government to have something in place, but till this day, there's no formal way to handle these migrants. There's nowhere to put them, and really, there's just these shanty towns that are now popping up across the border.
Wow.
And this is a situation where, unfortunately, you know, Haiti has a lot of its own economic problems.
Yeah.
And then, of course, on the Dominican side, they say they have their own problems. So you have these people that are stuck in the middle with neither country really accepting them or giving them some type of hope of what the next step is.
So, when we were talking before, we say more or less that the issue cannot be resolved from New York City. Can you explain a little bit the story?
You know, what we are trying to do in New York and in some of the other states where there are large populations of Haitian descendants is trying to put some pressure on our local officials to see if they could influence the people higher up in the political food chain to put more pressure on Dominican Republic to change this policy, or to at least put a system in place where they know that these deportations, or really expulsions, this isn't deportation because they're not immigrants, to have this happen in a humane way. So there have been protests that have popped up in New York, in Georgia, in Miami. There are talks about some that are going to happen in Washington, D.C. So there's really an effort among the diaspora actually to give these people some type of hope and let them know that, you know, we are aware of what's going on and we want to help.
And so you are, I forgot to mention that you are a editor-in-chief with Asian Times?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And then how did you came about doing newspaper and being involved in?
Oh, it's...
You are born in New York.
Yes, I was born here.
Okay.
It's really something that I felt was a calling for me.
Okay.
My background is mainly in communications, PR, that type of work. But when I graduated, I really, I felt this longing to become a part of a community.
Yeah.
I had a little mini crisis when I first graduated college, and I was really trying to find myself and see what is my identity now. Like, who am I? I've been a student for 16 years. Like, what am I now? So I figured the best thing that I can tie myself to is my ethnicity, my background. And I was fortunate enough that in New York, there's a really strong community of young professionals who really, we all really share the same story. All of our parents either came here in the 70s or 80s. You know, we were born and raised here. Many of us went to some of the same schools, Hofstra, Brooklyn College. And we all have this civic engagement mentality where we're really trying to do best for our country and also for people in our community. And through my work there, I became in contact with this young woman who was aware of, who has a relationship with the publisher of Haitian Times. And he was thinking about disbanding the paper and said, no, I need you to meet this girl. You know, she's really been doing some work in the community, and it just kind of it all fell into place.
And it makes sense. I mean, you feel very connected. Do you?
I
feel,
do.
Yeah.
I do.
And so, what comes next? What are you planning?
You know, for me, my main goal is focusing on really finding out where the other diaspora populations are across the country. So just some background, when the paper started in 1999, it was primarily focused on Haitians living in Brooklyn.
Okay.
You know, over the years, it's spread out because there's a community in Queens, in Nassau County. My goal right now for the next 2 years is really to identify these populations where we didn't even know they existed. So, you know, we recently transitioned to online only, and with that really gives me the opportunity to see where our readers are coming from. So every day I'm amazed when I see that we have a dedicated readership in Brazil, we have a dedicated readership in China, we have a dedicated readership in Minnesota, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know there were Haitian people there. So for me, it's about reaching out to these communities, finding out where they are, and really pulling their stories, and it gives a complete picture of what the immigrant experience is for Haitians and Haitian Americans starting from the 70s to now.
And what do they have common point or common issue in the different locations, the different places, or it's?
I don't want to say common issues, but common concerns.
Yeah.
And the major thing is immigration and transitioning, especially for new immigrants, for them to have an opportunity to either go to school and just an access for resources, because a lot of time there's a language barrier, and then there's a discomfort where, you know, you come to the country, especially if you're a young age and your parents kind of just put you out there to figure it all out. So for us, that's been one of the things that we've noticed is this need to find out what the city can offer, what are some resources that they don't know about because they're not aware of these agencies. And for us, that's the biggest thing.
But in New York, it's a big community, it's a Haitian community.
Yes,
we have elected officials, you have, I mean, it's...
Yes, I mean, on record, you know, they say that we're the second largest population outside of Haiti than Miami.
Yeah.
But I think differently. There's Assemblywoman Rodney's Pichot, she says that she thinks that Haitians are the largest ethnicity in New York State. And I don't think that's too much of a stretch, yes.
What do you mean in New York State?
In New York State, she thinks that Haitian Americans make up the largest ethnicity of people.
Before the Latino?
That's her claim.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She put you...
Yeah. Well, you know, Haitians are very territorial. It
Yeah.
could be like you married a cousin of a cousin. It's like, no, you're Haitian. So,
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
Vania, it was great.
Thank you for having me.
And then good luck for your work.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.